Oh. Okay.
At least it's now receiving my data.
Yeah. Kriz is saying, "Wah!" Wolf music note. I don't know what that means.
It's a howl. Now it's going. And I hope that they can now hear me. So, the question was... what kind of pet I would have in MLP, right?
Yes.
And as I said, but you guys couldn't hear, I would, just for the hell of it, keep a cockatrice.
Just for the hell of it?
And there's another reason. Wait for it.
What?
If, let's just say if, Discord turned bad again, or we had an attack from T-Rex or some other baddie, I'd just say, hey, look at my pet! And I'd be the savior of the day. And have a new lawn ornament.
Fair enough.
Imagine a lawn ornament of a very confused looking T-Rex.
Yeah. We need to catch you up on My Little Pony. Anyway, what's the next question? The next question on Day Lovers thing is, what's your favorite old show or cartoon?
My favorite old show or cartoon. You go ahead, ladies first.
You know it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Turtles in a half shell.
Turtle power. Not specifically that one, though. It was the 2003 version, the one that got really dark at points, like extremely dark. That one was my favorite when I was younger, and not so much the later seasons. They did kind of go off the rails a bit, but that would be my favorite. 2003 versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let me put it this way. Me and my best friend figured out which ones we were more like. I was more like Raph and Mikey. She was more like Mikey and Leo. I think. Wait, no, that's the wrong way around. I was more like Leo. Well, no, I was like... I can't remember now. Basically, none of us were like Donatello. Anyway,
okay.
Your turn.
My favorite show from when I was a kid. None of you likely know. It's called Cat's Eye. Or in German, Katzenauge. And the thing is, I went ahead and looked up the... It's an anime, by the way. For all of you who don't know, and I'm pretty sure no one knows the show. It's about three sisters who run a cafe right across the street from a police station. And ironically, that cafe is called Cafe Cat's Eye.
Okay.
And one of the sisters, Hitomi, is going out with one of the policemen.
Okay.
A policeman belonging to a special task force which is tasked with capturing an art thief who calls him/herself Cat's Eye.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, for quite a long time, everyone in the police station is assuming that Cat's Eye is a dude. Until during one of their raids, which they always announce, he almost catches Hitomi. Okay? And he's like, "Now I got you, Cat's Eye!" and grabs her boob, and she just, "Pervert!" slaps him. And he just sits there, like with his hand doing the grabbing motion. He's like, "Cat's Eye is a girl." And he totally doesn't realize that it's his girlfriend.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And the reason why they're doing this is they're looking for their father.
Okay.
And they only steal art pieces that, prior to the Second World War, belonged to his art collection.
Okay.
So, yeah. And here is the German opening. I put it in the chat. The Japanese opening is a little bit more, way more suggestive. Seriously, when I bought the DVD box a few years ago, I was a little bit stunned at what the Japanese opening looked like.
Okay.
Let's just say the first opening song, of season 1, is called Passion Fruit.
I don't need to know anymore. Adel, moving on very quickly. Actually, AJ and Daylover have asked this question because AJ put it in the chat, so I copied it. What is our favorite fruit and favorite vegetable? Vegetable.
You go ahead.
Favorite fruit? It really just depends on my mood. Oh, no. Never mind. Melon.
Melon?
Melon is my favorite fruit. Yes. I got it so much as a child. And we'd get them, my grandparents would scoop it out and make melon balls. And, every time I go over, every Sunday, melon.
Okay.
And the melon juice gets everywhere and makes your hands all sticky and face all sticky.
No comment to that.
And favorite vegetable? Mashed potato? I'm showing my Irishness here.
That's a dish. The vegetable would then be potato.
Oh.
Well, for me, favorite fruit? Cherries.
Cherries.
Yes. I just love cherries.
Are cherries a fruit?
Yes, cherries are a fruit.
They're not a berry?
Even berries are fruits.
Berries are fruits?
Yes. And my favorite vegetable, this might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion.
You're going to say Brussels sprouts, aren't you?
No. Even though I do like Brussels sprouts.
Hmm.
And shush, AJ. The German opening is safe for Kriz. Seriously is. All they do is basically roller skating in leotards. Seriously, that's the worst that happened since that opening.
Fair enough.
So, My favorite vegetable would be... Well, it's... Basically, there are two on place one. Broccoli and spinach.
I'll be honest, I don't have much experience with spinach, but broccoli has to be covered in cheese for me to eat it.
You ate it when you were here.
Covered in cheese.
No, broccoli, I like steamed broccoli with a little bit of butter on top and a dash of salt. Tastes
Fair enough.
awesome.
I'm just going to go with that.
Elsa makes it for you.
Okay, the next one I've got from Day Lover. Oh, is favorite snack as well.
Go ahead.
I don't really have a favorite snack. Oh no! If I had to choose a favorite snack that if I could always have it, would probably carrots and hummus.
Okay.
For some reason, I will never eat carrots like on their own, like raw or anything like that. I have to have it with hummus, and it's so good. The problem is it's hard to like take anywhere, and because I'm out of the house quite a bit for work, I can't really take it with me without needing to clean up a lot. So, and keeping the stuff refrigerated. So, over to you.
First of all, I want to answer something for the chat here. AJ, no. Leotards are not what ballerinas wear. Ballerinas wear a tutu. It's basically some kind of... Looks like a very tight swimsuit.
Actually, they do also wear leotards.
Yes? I've never watched ballet, but I always imagine ballerinas in tutus.
Fair enough.
Okay, now to the question. My favorite snack? Sandwiches from my toasty maker.
Fair enough.
With salami, cheese, garlic, onions, and feta cheese.
This one is only for me. Does your wolf eat anything else other than meat? Midnight will eat whatever she can find. She does still occasionally eat vegetables and things like that, and pastries. But her favorite thing that technically isn't meat, but it's really a drink, is chocolate milk. Give her chocolate milk, and yeah...
She gets drunk.
She can get drunk off it, yes. Though I'm pretty sure Discord might have spiked the chocolate milk that time. Maybe. The next one we sort of answered. So, favorite book and favorite movie?
Go ahead.
Favorite book? Ooh. It's been so long since I've read an actual book other than fan fiction. That's not good.
You read the book I gave you.
That's true, but I wouldn't call it my favorite. Sorry, Anne. I don't really have a favorite book. Because if all the books that I've read, I would go through, like, I would read whatever is on my mind. Like, sometimes I would read Sherlock Holmes. Sometimes I would read Percy Jackson. Sometimes I would read, it really depends on my mood. Though most of the things I read are, what's it called? Like, fantasy and mystery. That sort of thing. But I don't really have a favorite book. Favorite movie? Whisper of the Heart. I love that movie. I will always love that movie, and it is so adorable.
Okay.
It's an anime which is actually more like a slice of life about a girl discovering her love for writing. And it's all about this cat that she makes it about, and then there's even a story sort of off that. But yeah. I like it. I really do like it. Over to you.
Favorite book? Let me think. I've read quite a few books. You have seen my little library.
That I have.
Wow. Dan Brown. Oh no, not Dan Brown. Stephen King, actually. But it's not a single book, it's a series of books. But one story. The Dark Tower. Awesome story. Even you would like it, love.
I'm pretty sure I would, though I hear most of it. I have my own audiobook.
I will never tell you about stories again. Seriously. Stories, books, games, never.
Aww.
You keep making fun of me for it.
I'm sorry. No, I like that. I'm not making fun of you. I like the fact that you're telling me about it.
Uh-huh.
I like story time with you.
Favorite movie? Wow. I've also seen a lot of movies, that's the thing. But I think I would have to go with a classic.
Oh?
A Bud Spencer movie.
Bud Spencer?
It's called, well, if I translate the German title to English, it's called Four Fists Against Rio.
Okay.
The story is basically where Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, Bud Spencer is this, he plays an instrument in a nightclub, a saxophone, and Terence Hill is this, I think, a gambler type, I'm not sure. And they get casted by an agency that looks for doppelgangers for people.
Okay.
And there's one epic scene where Bud Spencer is just standing there in the waiting room and Terence Hill is sitting there reading a magazine. And Bud Spencer is miming playing his saxophone like, and Terence Hill just looks at him and is like, well, would you mind filtering those farts through pants before we all die? And yeah, basically the story behind that is that the two are complete doppelgangers of these two totally rich dudes that are how to put this, being targeted by the mafia.
Okay.
And they are to take over their lives for a while. And they will get a bonus if they find out why they're being targeted.
Huh.
And since no Bud Spencer movie is a Bud Spencer movie without a good brawl...
Oh, of course.
Bud Spencer and Terence Hill do find out what's going on, and in the end they're on this ranch with those two rich guys and start beating up the bad guys. It is amazing.
Nice.
Seriously, Bud Spencer is... just one of my favorite ever actor. Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. And here I put a few scenes into the chat. Sadly, the quality is very bad.
Unsere Organisation ist
Nice.
Seriously, it's like I love. At one point, I had all the movies on DVD, but then I borrowed them to someone and didn't even get half of them back.
I always hate when that happens. Though I once gave back a DVD with a piece of toast inside.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. I swear I don't know how that happened.
You would get into so much trouble if you did that to any of my DVDs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, next question is from Kriz. I'm going to put these two together. How did you start YouTubing, and when did you start to watch My Little Pony? Because mine sort of combines them. I started watching while I was in upper sixth form in school, and yeah, I sort of had it as a guilty pleasure. Didn't know anything about the Brony fandom at all until I just randomly came across it and saw reviewers and this sort of thing. And it's through watching what Bronies were doing, I was like, this is really fun. I want to do this. I want to be part of this. And I hadn't actually come across anyone who did fan fictions, like read them. I was extremely naive. So I thought, maybe I could do this, and then started narrating, and that was that. I then found out about Scribbler and that I was one of many. Oops. Here, I thought I was starting a new thing. Nope, not in the slightest.
Yeah. I started watching MLP in early 2013, if I remember correctly, shortly after the end of Season 3. It was when I was in a very bad spot, and MLP helped cheer me up. And in terms of when I started to narrate, I was listening to... That was always also in 2013. At the time, I had a very bad relationship with fanfictions. Because every fanfiction up to that point that I had read or heard about was really, really bad. So what basically happened was I came across Forrest Rain's reading of Upheaval Breaking Point. And I loved it. And then he started doing Upheaval Reckoning. However, I noticed that for a 20-minute chapter, he needed a whole month to produce this. And I got annoyed at that. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I can do this faster. And I think with my release schedule over the years, never going below one video a week, I have proven my point. Love, you don't know this, but when my channel started out, I sometimes did 5 releases a day.
You really were Iron Voice, weren't you?
When I was starting out, okay, at the beginning I didn't like cut out my bloopers or anything, so those readings are actually still on my channel. Or our channel. But 5 chapters a day.
Yeah.
Even when I started doing that, I went to 3 releases a day. And then my grandfather started needing more care, so I went to like 2 or 3 releases every other day. But at the beginning, love, there are not over 1,300 videos on our channel for nothing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Next question. Favorite pony and favorite villain? I will always say this because I still like her and I value loyalty above most things. You can guess. Rainbow Dash would be my favorite pony if you exclude the princesses. I still love Luna. Always will. As for favorite villain? Ooh. I'm not entirely sure. Because though we've had quite a few villains, there's only 2 that sort of always caught my imagination. One was Starlight, because I figured that she could have had a way better reason for her craziness than what they ended up giving her. And I always thought someone could add to this, that someone could do this a lot better. But that's just the way things are. But then my other favorite would have to be Sombra, because again, I felt like they could add to him quite a bit. Now, since I know Visual hasn't seen the most recent episodes, I will shut my mouth now, but he still would be one of my favorites. Your turn, love.
Favorite pony? There are so many to choose from. Literally. But I suppose that we should limit ourselves to ponies from the show, right?
I guess so, yes. You're not allowed to take anyone from Fallout.
Oh. Wouldn't even have been someone from Fallout, but still.
I'm sorry.
So, my favorite pony would be... Time Turner.
Oh.
He's
Fair
just
enough.
so quirky.
They could add so much to him. They could have a spin-off series.
Yeah, Dr. Hoofs.
Not necessarily that, but yeah.
Love, you saw the inside of his workshop. If that is not a quite reference to the TARDIS, then I don't know.
You're right. But they couldn't use Doctor Who's.
And my favorite villain... from MLP, I suppose. Nightmare Moon.
Nightmare Moon. Alright.
Because I can kind of sympathize with her.
I can see why. That makes sense.
Also, what was it? The night shall last forever!
Okay.
Next question.
I don't even think either of us have one, but favorite comic artist?
Yeah, wait. I'd have to look her name up, actually.
The only one that's coming to my mind is Jasper's like miniseries. I do read a few other comics and things, but I don't actually like. I wouldn't be able to favorite them because I don't like favoriting artists because every artist is different in their own way.
I will have to cheat a little bit here.
Oh.
Because I'll actually name a mangaka.
Okay.
So a drawer of manga. Her name is Kaori Yuki.
Okay.
Drew some of my favorite series. So, for example, one where there is a nightclub.
Uh-huh.
That is run by vampires.
Okay.
Male vampires.
Okay.
Who use their hypnotic powers to seduce the patrons, fulfill their desires, and then take a little bit of blood.
As payment?
No, so you have to pay.
As well, okay. Just curious. Fair enough. Interesting. Moving on. Funniest happening at a con. It's funniest thing to happen at a con. You've been to more cons than me. Ooh.
No, actually, you have been to more cons. I have been to one pony con, but that's several times.
I would still say it's more, but fair enough. I've been to Everfree and I've been to Galacon. I'm trying to think, what happened? Did anything crazy happen at Everfree? I can't think of anything. It's mainly because I was walking around mostly on my own, so I didn't really. I hadn't gone with friends. I did meet people there, but none that I had previously known. I did meet a person who was dressed up like Rarity. You know, the big frilly Rarity. It was really cool. But there was no, I can't think of anything funny. What about you, love?
I have one occurrence.
What's that?
First year attending Galacon. It was in 15. And I went there also to see if there was, the opportunity for me to promote my channel.
Okay.
So I wore this big t-shirt that you now have.
Yeah.
With my face on it, the 2 microphones, and saying VisualPony on it. VisualPony is a narrator.
Okay.
And I was sitting outside talking with a dude about gender-bent RP and some other stuff, also audiobooks and all that,
Yeah.
And a dude at the next table says, by the way, at that time, I had already worked with Scribbler, Lost, Astro, Wooten, like almost all of the big names.
Yeah.
And I mean, my name was literally on my shirt. Okay? And the dude at the next table is like, hey, if you want to hear some high-quality audiobooks, I don't know if you know her, but you should totally check out Obab Scribbler and the Lost Narrator. And I just go totally silent. I turn around to him. And I'm like, I know Scribbler and Lost. I have them in my Skype. And he's like,
Me?
say what? You're lying. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And if you see my name, that should kind of be familiar to you. He's He's like, no. And I just was like, okay. You've got cellular data on your phone? Yes. I'm like, okay, go to Scribbler's channel and look up the video Fade. I play the doctor in that one.
Nice. And here I was thinking you were gonna tell the time that I nearly bit a con guy's head off.
That was more scary than funny.
Fair enough.
Seriously,
fair enough.
do not anger the wolf.
Okay, last question from Kriz. I should say we've got a few more after this. If not YouTubing and voice acting, what would you two want to do? I'll be honest, I've never really known what I'm what I want to do with my life. I'm still not entirely sure. YouTubing is amazing. I love doing it, and I'm trying to get out there with voice acting as well, but haven't had any luck, sadly. But I don't know what else I'd want to do, because I've never known what I want to do. What about you, Han?
Porn.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Not as an actor, as a writer. You very well know I don't have the physique for an actor.
Fair enough. Not saying a thing. AJ asked, what kind of Pokemon are you? And if you had time and money, what games would you want to play? Those are more separate. What kind of Pokemon? I would be... I don't know. Lucario. I want to... Lucario. I want to be Lucario. Or Eevee.
You have your thing for Eevee since you played Pokemon on my Switch, right?
I have always loved Eevee. I love Umbreon. Umbreon's my favorite Pokemon.
I know. So what kind of Pokemon would I be? Snorlax.
You read my mind.
I kind of meant that as a joke, love.
No, my head was going, he's going to joke Snorlax.
No. I get it. I sleep a lot and I'm fat. Okay, I get it.
I'm not going to win this one. We're better to move on to the next question. What, if you had all the money in the world, what games would you want to play? I don't know. I'm very picky when it comes to games, so I'm a bit of a gamer, but not much of a gamer, so there you go. You're the gamer, love.
Mm-hmm. If I had the money.
Yeah.
And the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, first of all, my current gaming rig wouldn't be able to handle that game.
Seriously? What game are you thinking of?
There are some DOS games from the era when I grew up that I never got to play. And that I really wanted to play. And of course you find that funny, Karma. I knew it. So, if I had all the money that I needed to, and all the time that I needed to, then I would go ahead and buy myself a good DOS gaming PC. And get all those titles that I never got to play. Like the original SimCity.
Okay.
Or the first Command and Conquer. Or Duke Nukem, the original Duke Nukem games. You know, stuff like that. Because back in the day, I really wanted to play them, but I couldn't because my family didn't have a lot of money. And the same goes for a few old console games. Like, I do own a Super Nintendo, but I seriously do not have the money to buy the games I want. Even on a flea market recently, I wanted to buy F-Zero X, which is a racing game, really good one. Mm-hmm. The dude wanted $50 for it.
Ouch.
With the label completely worn out. The only indication that it was actually F-Zero X was a sticker he put on it.
That he put on it? That's suspicious.
And he wanted $50 for it. It's like one of those games, you know? Reminds me, my stepbrother still has a rare game that I lent to him.
Get that back.
I don't even have his number anymore.
Fair enough. Alrighty, next one he asked was, well, next serious one. Real life / hobbies / interests. Bit general there, AJ. Real life world hobbies and interests. I'm a big Marvel and DC fan. I'm quite into comic books, though I haven't read as many, so that probably negates that whole thing. But I am very much looking forward to Endgame, which apparently comes out tomorrow. How did I lose track of that? I do not know. I love to write. I'm writing a story right now, actually. And I am trying to learn to draw. I even have my new drawing tablet that I'm trying to figure out how to work as well as draw on. So, yeah, those would be my real-life world hobby interests.
Well, it might not come as a shock for anyone, but I'm a huge gamer. Like, I am paying off the gaming rig I have here for almost a year now.
Oh, wow, it has been a year since you got that.
Yeah. I recently checked. It was first turned on the 15th of June 2018. The BIOS actually saved the date.
Huh.
So yeah. I play a lot of games. My Steam library right now has 180 games in it. And that's only Steam. I only have Origin, I have Uplay, I have the Bethesda launcher, I have a PS2, I have a GameCube, I have a Switch, I have the PS4, I have a PS2. Somewhere in all this mess, I also have a PS1. And my game libraries for those systems are also massive. So yeah, a lot of my time, if I'm not recording, is spent either sleeping or playing games. I love games, especially games that have a good story. I can really immerse myself in a game with a good story.
A good story is always, like, there are times when there are some games that are just ridiculous for ridiculous sake, but even they, you know, have some sort of...
Like the one that I sent you the trailer to the other day? I want that game.
I know.
I want it.
Okay.
Now.
Save up.
No, yesterday. I want it yesterday.
It's not available yet.
I know. The early access will only start in next year's summer.
Ouch. Fair enough. Okay, next one. What is the first ever fan fiction we read?
Oh God.
I have no idea. I read a lot of...
distinctly remember.
Wait, was it one of those bad ones that you've told me about?
Yes.
Go for it, you're first.
Oh no, go ahead.
I don't remember. I have a terrible memory. I have the worst memory in all of Equestria.
Okay, guys. Here's the thing. This was back when I was, I think, 14, 15. And it was a time when Pokemon was still in swing. Like in the big hype at the beginning. And a friend of mine directed me to a Pokemon fanfiction website. Since I didn't have internet at home when we had computer classes, I went ahead, put in a floppy disk. Yes, a floppy disk. And saved the stories in text format to that floppy disk so I could read them at home. And the first story that I read was about Ash proposing to Misty. However, the way the story started was the two of them were traveling with Brock, as they were doing at the time in the show. And apparently it was a very hot summer. And Ash suggested at night, because both of them couldn't sleep, to just go for a swim in the nearby lake. Misty, who we all know always has a swimsuit on her, said she didn't bring a swimsuit. And Ash was, so what? I don't have swimming stuff with me either. And so they go for a nude bath. With Misty going in first and Ash having to turn around while she gets undressed. However, then at some point they swim out a little bit and then she gets cold and he's like, wait, I can stand here if you want. I can like hold you for a moment so you can rest. And then they have sex in the lake. And while they're doing it, he asks her to marry him.
Very romantic.
The thing is, at the end of it, he asks her again, do you want to marry me? And she's like, I said yes. And he's like, yeah, I was unsure with all the yeses that you spouted. Well, you know.
Ugh. Not face safe for Kriz.
This is pretty tame compared to the other stuff that I read. You do remember that there's a Pokemon called Tangela, right? The second fanfiction I read was called Tangela's House of Surprises.
Yeah, maybe I'm glad I can't remember the first fanfiction I ever read.
And that's the reason why I had such a bad relation with fanfiction and such a bad opinion. Because most of the fanfictions I came across were about sex. Or shipping. Or in one Star Trek fan fiction I came across at the time when I was really invested in that fandom. I mean, I still am, but was way much back then. The writer started a gay relationship between Picard and Worf.
Okay. By the way, Karma's asking what a floppy disk is.
What? A floppy disk is a storage medium that can hold 1.44 megabytes of data. Imagine megabytes.
Wait. Seriously?
Yes.
Huh. Why did we go off those? Because they were too
Mega, not gigabytes.
Oh, sorry.
Megabytes is like 1024 megabytes are 1 gigabyte.
Okay.
And just because copy link there, that is a floppy disk. Well, that is a 3.5 inch model. What we actually called a floppy back in the day is actually this, which is a 5.5 inch model.
Karma, I know what it is. Hey, you asked, I simply told him. You ask, you surprise, you get told.
And the big ones, the 5.5, they actually didn't even have 1 megabyte of storage.
Next question. Okay, I don't understand what are they dating like means, so moving on. What other fandoms are you in? I think I said Marvel and DC. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Always. I'm literally looking around my room to remind myself, just in case, but it's all Marvel, DC... Oh, Undertale!
I was about to say.
Undertale! Yes, me like Undertale. I have a giant thing on my wall behind my bed.
I know.
You know, but they don't. The rage, the salt, it's glorious. Shush. I think that's it. Oh, Avatar Last Airbender. As well. That one. Which reminds me, we need to finish that with you.
I thought you had forgotten.
Never.
Anyhow, as for me, anime, but not as much as I used to. Gaming, obviously, and sci-fi in general.
Yeah.
I love myself some sci-fi.
Fair enough.
Look at AJ.
AJ has retyped his question. What has it been like dating each other? Amazing.
I agree.
Sure, we have our rough patches, but we love each other.
Oh, yes.
Great. Now you made me miss him even more, AJ. Come on! Also, nice pun, Karma. Nice pun. me like. And last one from AJ. What's your OC design story? I kind of wanted something unique-ish, and since I was a fan of Dr. Wolf, I thought, okay, well, I also really like wolves. I love the moon and that sort of thing, so that makes sense. Okay, and then I just started asking, well, what can I do to make her different? My favorite color has always been purple, so, okay, purple wolf. Why is she purple? What is it? And I basically kept asking why and why and why, so that happened. So she became a purple wolf that lived in the forest that was transformed by a mysterious being, which now has become Morphus. And the headband, there isn't actually a story behind it for Midnight, the character. I'm still going to have to figure that out. But for me, it's actually very similar to a design that I had on a headband I wore while going through chemo. It was my favorite one. I wore it the most often because it was really warm and good. A lot better than wearing a wig, ironically. For some reason, the wig just did not work. And then the cape that she has was actually given to her by the Cutie Mark Crusaders, who, after insisting she got a haircut, realised she was too cold, and so got her a cape. Because why not?
Okay.
Sewn by Sweetie Belle.
My design story will be so mundane, everyone will hate me. When I started this channel out, my channel before we fused, I didn't have an avatar. And after a while, when I was working with Scribbler asked me for a picture of my pony Sona. For a picture. I was like, what the fuck is a pony Sona? When do you need it? And she explained to me, yeah, my pony avatar. And I'm like, 1 second. So I thought frantically what I could give her as a reference picture. And the only thing I had was a picture in Pony Maker that I had once made for a pony character from one of my stories. And so that's what I sent her. And since then, this blue pony with the red hair is my pony.
Fair enough. That's one way to do it.
In
okay.
fact, he is supposed to be Discord.
Seriously?
Yes. If you have never listened to Children of the Night, you should totally do it, because at the end, Twilight and her friends are hiding from Celestia.
Yeah.
And Twilight is the last survivor, basically, and Discord, so that he doesn't stand out, has turned into this blue earth pony and is her butler.
Okay. Strangely, I could see Script being Celestia's butler for 300 years.
Not Celestia's butler.
Who's butler?
Twilight's butler.
Twilight's butler? Okay. I could see that happening too. Sorry, I misheard.
But yeah.
Fair enough. Ooh, something about us again. Karma asks, during the time you have been together, what has surprised each of you the most? I think we're both are like, in what way? I guess. Do you mean surprised us the most?
I think he means about each other. I know what it was, but I can't say it here or you will kill me.
I think I know what you mean. I don't know. What surprised me the most? Yeah, I thought that.
I'm not saying that on stream, guys. She will kill me.
Yes, I would. How gentle you can be. For someone who's so much taller and so much stronger, how gentle you can be. Because seriously, dudes, he's strong.
Kinda have to be.
True. But you're incredibly gentle. And that I love about you.
So, if I had to go with the second most surprising thing. Because the first thing I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah.
I can't say that either.
What do you think? Stop thinking of things you can't say. Come on, I managed to.
Okay. The most surprising thing that I can say here was, well, how unafraid you were when we first met.
Oh?
You guys must know that Midnight came here without basically telling anyone that she was coming here. And we had only ever interacted online. I think at the time we even only had like 1 or 2 video calls. And when I waited there at the gate for her and she came out of the gate. By the way, I told her to leave a note just in case she didn't come back.
Love.
She immediately came to me and hugged me. No fear whatsoever. Was a bit surprising, I must admit. So I am generally a non-threatening person.
True, but you are incredibly tall.
Yeah, and I did have people change the side of the roads they were walking on before.
That's fair.
And an old lady once ran from me.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. I was out with my leather duster. And I walked on the right side of the street while she walked on the left. And I saw that out of her shopping bag she dropped her bananas. So I went over, picked them up, and called after her and was like, "Excuse me." And she just turns around as if I had shouted at her and starts lagging it. And I ran after her with the bananas in hand.
Did you give them to her?
at the next street corner, she was out of breath. And then I'm like, here, you dropped this. And she just looks at me and is like, oh, thank you. I was just walking through town with big earphones on, my leather duster, my skull t-shirt.
Oh, love!
But seriously, she just looked at me as if I was death incarnate and legged it. I've never seen a woman of that age run that fast.
Fair enough.
Love, she must have been over 80. And I had trouble keeping up with her. And I can run.
You can. Next question is from Omegalagafcon. Omega?
I know who you mean.
Yeah. In the fic, the Skyla Cinnamon, if Flurryheart got her own airship, what name would you have her give her airship?
Omega Alpha Alicorn Prime Unicorn.
Yeah, that name.
Seriously, Skyla, her own airship?
Flurryheart.
Flurryheart is Skyla.
Oh, sorry.
She calls herself Captain Skyla.
Ah.
To disguise herself from Twilight. You should really sometimes keep up with my work.
Sorry.
Let me just check real quick. Because I would not call it Blizzard, whatever you said there. I can't, there. Crystal Blizzard? No. As you remember, every name that was so far chosen for the airships that Twilight had a meaning. And I'm pretty sure that Flurryheart was her preferring, for example, a double-bladed sword fighting style, would either call her sword, her ship Gladio, or Duplex Gladio. Gladio means sword, and Duplex Gladio is double sword.
Okay. Cool. I like.
There's also a scene in the story that is very, very disturbing. When someone shoots Twilight with an anti-magic cannon. And her magic then is literally turned off.
That's not good.
Do you know how Flurryheart reacts?
Hi.
She takes apart the gun crew. And the last one of them living, she raises both of her blades and then in turn starts hacking at him with them. While shouting, "You hurt my auntie!"
Scary Flurryheart. Very scary Flurryheart.
By the way, guys, I will be right back. I need a short break.
Okay. Eighth Flame, we've actually already answered that a little bit further back. That's what I meant, sorry. I can quickly summarize for you. For me, it was basically actually reviewers who I got into the fandom, I loved it, I was like, yes, I want to do something here, and I thought that no one else was reading fanfiction stories. I was completely wrong, but I was naive. So I wanted to do it, so I started, and oh, hey, Omni! And yeah, it was fun, but I didn't know I got into, and I've loved it ever since. For Visual, he basically thought, I can do better than this than someone who was only reading it, a 20-minute story, and it took him about 3 months to do. And Visual was like, hell no, I can do better than this. And he was like, okay, let's do this. And he's been doing it ever since. Honestly, I don't know how he does it. He's able to record so much more, and technically I should be able to record a lot more. I'll copy that, Hades. So into the document where I'm piling up all the questions. Just so you know, if you're asking questions in the chat, I'm copying and pasting them into a Word document so that we get to them. So don't worry, we are getting to them. So if you don't hear us immediately to reply to them, you guys, we are getting there. I just have stockpiled a few. So we're like getting there. We will get to all your questions. All of your questions shall be answered in due form. But if they have already been answered, they won't be. I'm just rambling because Get Visual's not gone for a bit. But yes. Hello! Yes. Not Flurry Heart, Fury Heart. While Visual's gone, there's actually a question I can answer. 8th Flame, you asked about what are our thoughts on Season 9. Visual actually hasn't gotten to that yet. He's been far too busy with YouTube and with work, so he hasn't been able to catch up. Don't worry, I will get him caught up before Galacon. I will get him caught up. My thoughts, first 2 episodes, awesome. I love Sombra in it. He's not quite as, I don't know, because he's more of the center of, I think he lost a bit of characterization at the same time as gaining some. But he's interesting. This new villain is interesting. I think it's a good step up. Next part, he is, the next one, it was okay. It was a little unusual. I'm not sure what they're hoping to do with the Student 6 at all. Honestly, I'm a bit confused. And then the most recent episode, I really liked. Spike so deserved it. Zephyr Breeze is as creepy as ever. How is he in the Royal Guard? I don't understand. I do not understand. At all. At all. And I think that's all the episodes. Yeah, I don't understand why he's in there. Why is he in there? But I could sort of tell something was going to happen. And I kind of want to know what's going on between Celestia and Luna a bit. Like, why is that happening? And they should be aware of ponies on the inside. Because if we've seen, there are definitely some times when you have the closest people to you can be the most dangerous. I.e., the little kid pony, who I still do not understand. Where are her parents? I do not know. Where are her parents? Yeah, Grogar. But where are her parents? Seriously, where are her parents? If you look at one of my reviews with Second Opinion, you'll see my whole thoughts on that episode. That finale. Anyway. 8 Flame, who's your best pony? We answered this earlier. That would be, for me, Rainbow Dash. I'm sorry, Rainbow Dash. I love her loyalty. Come on, she was awesome in the last episode. She actually got dressed up. Come on. When does she ever do that? She would never have done that in season 1. Ever. And I love her sarcasm. And how loyal she is to her own feelings, which causes her to be a bit brash. And then for visual, it's, what's it called? Dr. Hooves. Sorry, was just...
What is Dr. Hooves?
Your best pony.
Ah, yeah.
Because Flame was just asking, so I was just repeating a few things and answering a question that you cannot answer.
The questions that I cannot answer.
What are your thoughts on season 9?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, don't worry, I'll get him caught up before Galacon.
Don't count on it.
Oh, I count on it.
You're planning to have a marathon once you come over here, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, God.
What? Anyway, Wyatt Milligan asks, serious question. Are you doing more Fallout Equestria audiobooks?
Currently in production is Fallout Equestria Homelands.
And there may be a Fallout Equestria-ish kind of story coming from me soon. Maybe. Ish. There's a sneak peek for you. Next question. Kriz has asked a few more. Do you two have any sort of ritual before a con, like for getting ready? No, I haven't really been in enough cons to do that. Other than getting all my pony stuff together.
No, not really.
No, sorry.
Driving there, and then relax.
Relax. Yes. Oh, and put
Relax,
on a ton of sunscreen.
Just do it. Relax. Just do it.
Favorite thing about cons? The community. Like, I could spend the entire time just meeting people, talking to people, and that sort of thing. Doing the panel was amazing last year, and it just got us connected, like with Kriz, for example. It's the community and talking and then going off to have dinner together. That's something I didn't have back in Galacon, in Everfree, sadly, because I didn't know people, I didn't have that connection, and people walked off to do their own things, so I was very much alone. So that's something, just being with visual sort of helps connect with people, and yeah. Also, having a very cute plushie helps.
Yeah, the thing is that Midnight actually got to meet some of the original editors. Like Simon.
Yep.
Or Alex. Who was only a very short time entry on the team. He quit after like editing one chapter of Sunflower. Which he did a good job on, I must say. Not amazing, but a good one. But it isn't just being with me. The thing is, I know a few people, yes. And it is always a blast meeting patrons and everything.
Mm.
And a few reoccurring people at Galacon, but yeah. I'm also quite aware that in terms of the community, like certain people, Midnight will know what I'm referring to.
Yes.
I am not the most liked person. In fact, I'm pretty sure that there have been people actively sabotaging this channel's growth.
Eggs. Anyway, the next one's a little bit of a happier note. Dream wedding for you both? I mean, I remember I was part of a girls' group, and we actually sat down and planned out our wedding as children, cutting out wedding dresses and everything. So, admittedly, I have a bit of a stronger thing in my head. But I know for one thing, it won't be a normal wedding. I think that we both can agree on. If we ever get married, it will not be a normal wedding. And it'll be a big one. It will be a big one. If we ever.
May I?
Are you speaking in Klingon? Mm-hmm. We're not having Klingon at our wedding.
Why not?
If we ever get married, you can do it at the reception. But not in the actual wedding.
Aww.
You can have your best man speaking Klingon if you want. Now that would be hilarious. And... And if you both could have a superpower, what would you have? I would want fire. Just fire. Please.
Keep her away from the flame.
Yes. Let me put it this way. Visual himself knows that in this particular game, I love fire. In another game, I like exploding things up. Yeah.
And in another game, she's a living torch. For me, shapeshifting.
I'll admit, that would be a cool one. I just want to burn things. Right, next one from Hades. Which Wasteland hero did you enjoy more? VP, Little Pip, or Blackjack in terms of character?
Blackjack.
Fair enough.
We've got to do better. I'm not an executioner. Like that was her catchphrase. I'm not an executioner.
Yeah, she probably
Security
is.
saves ponies. I have that on a shirt. Security saves ponies.
That's true. And then to me, who is your favorite fanfic reader other than VP? The one I've most listened to, which will be no one's surprise, would be Scribbler. There was a while I had an hour train ride, and I would listen to her stories. Not even her pony stories. A lot of the time, her other more creepy stories. Ironically.
I've been in a few of those.
I know. I suddenly... One time I was just listening, and I suddenly came across his voice, and I was like, wait a second, hold on. Looking at the description. Oh, okay then. I wasn't expecting that. Alright. I'll have to tell Visual later. I think that was one that you'd completely forgotten about as well.
Hey, seriously, the very first time she asked me for lines, she put that reading up either early this year or late last year. And she asked me for the lines in early 2014.
She has a stockpile, I think. Very much so. And actually, the last question I have written down, OP, since you asked to be called that, what do you think is going on in Shining Armor's and Cadence's head as Flurry is another world?
I have no idea. I'm not the author.
I would think basically the same thing that would happen to any parent.
Just imagine you to get a note from Twilight saying that she's an... Imagine you're Cadence, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you get a note from Twilight telling you that you and Flurry are in another dimension where Flurry got you stranded because she stole Twilight's airship.
I'd be like, probably like the minute she gets back, she is grounded for eternity.
Yeah.
And also, how did she get me this letter and how am I going to get my daughter back? And put all the scientists on it.
It's not the first time Twilight has been caught up in a different dimension or plane of being. As everyone who has followed the entirety of those stories knows, she has been trapped in the heart of the world before.
True.
You don't even know the story.
You've told me of it.
I have not told you about the Lunar Cipher. I'm pretty sure.
90% sure you've at least mentioned it. And I definitely have heard about Twilight being stuck in the heart before. Maybe. Maybe my brain is playing tricks on me. Which I would not be surprised. At all. And yes, Karma, we have a Star Trek fan. Both of us are actually Star Trek fans. Favorite Captain, love?
You go first.
Janeway or Picard. Always.
My favorite captain, and this might be a little bit of unpopular opinion again.
Wait, have you changed it?
Because I know many Star Trek fans don't like her.
Oh, I know who you're going to say now.
It is the captain of the NCC 74656.
The new series?
No.
Oh, which one's that?
The registration number NCC. Just type it into Google.
Alright. NCC.
NCC 74656.
Ah, you hadn't changed yours. Did you have to say it that way?
My favorite captain is Captain Catherine Janeway of the Intrepid class Deep Space Explorer vessel USS Voyager. 343 meters long, 116 meters wide, and with a top speed of warp 9.975.
How do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is why I say I have a mind of a goldfish. You certainly don't.
Also, I just liked the series and how Captain Janeway handled it.
Yeah. Admittedly, they were able to do a lot more with Janeway than they could ever do with the Enterprise crews.
Mm-hmm.
because they were so far away, they could introduce so many. And still, I mean, there were still Klingons in it. Even though Klingons were not in that quadrant.
I remember the discussion we once had, how Neelix must be a total badass.
Oh yeah, he must be.
Because of that thing where he comes out of his quarters with a Klingon woman.
Yeah.
And the Klingon mating ritual, for all of you who don't know, is the male has to overpower the female. So, Neelix managed to do that. Neelix, the morale officer, who everyone thinks is a soft touch.
I mean, if you remember, he was a person before he met Janeway and everything. He was quite a hardy person before that. In all fairness, he probably just decided was able to show his softer side because he was in a comfortable position.
Saying, yes, that's true, but there's also something else, love. He does have military training, we know that. Because he was actually part of the military of his home planet before it was destroyed. And in the episode 1 Year in Hell, when Tuvok gets blinded, he becomes the secondary head of security.
That's a good point.
And Tuvok would not entrust that position to someone who he thinks is not capable of doing it.
That Year in Hell really was your hell.
But it really brought up Neelix's harsher side, I might say. He managed stuff very efficiently, with military efficiency.
Probably wish he would never have to do that again.
Yeah, as far as I remember, he is a deserter from his homeworld's military. But he was an officer. So, there's that.
Here's a question for you.
Huh?
Jedi or Sith?
You really want... You go first.
I say neither. Because the old Jedi Order, not a chance. The Sith, again, not a chance. I would rather follow the old Jedi Order before they spelt it that way. At least, this is the backstory that I know and have been told. I admit I don't know it all. But before the whole Jedi-Sith war and everything, there was a time when people studied both sides and were supposed to be balanced. And I'd prefer to be that sort of person than leaning on one side or the other.
Okay, may I answer this question by reciting something?
Go for it.
Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.
That's not creepy in any way.
That is the Codex of the Sith.
Okay. So you'd be a Sith? I'd be in the middle, he'd be on the dark side. Why does that still seem appropriate? Well, that's all the questions I have, unless you guys have any more. I don't have any more lined up at all. Not unless we want
You
to.
can ask us anything at all, no matter how intruding or personal it may be.
We reserve the right, however, to not answer a question.
No.
What? Well, I reserve the right to not answer a question. You're mean.
I know.
What is your proudest or favorite moment since starting your channel? Proudest or favorite moment? I guess one of my most proudest moments was when, on my own channel, like my first proudest moments would have been when I finished my first multi-chapter story. Not my technical first multi-chapter story, but my first collab multi-chapter story, which was The Night Guards. I've actually managed to transfer it over to this, and I am thinking of redoing it, of like doing a completely rerun now that I know what I'm doing. Some of it I feel like is a bit but then my next proudest moment would be joining channels and getting to 5,000. Like, seriously, this is awesome! Thank you again!
Well, for me, proudest moment when I pressed save as on the epilogue of Fallout Equestria Project Horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but that was just a 2-year journey.
Karma asks, what is your favorite moment in the RP? Oof. I sort of replay moments in my head. I don't know. There was a moment that recently went through my head, but I can't remember it now, which is very annoying. Midnight's interactions with Lupina have to be my favorite moments, to be honest. Other than what most recent fight, moments with Lupina. For some reason, Midnight and Lupina have this connection, and it's interesting. I quite enjoy it. What about you, love?
My favorite moment in the RP. You killing that scientist.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Was badass.
Fair enough. You know that wasn't my intention.
Still.
Yeah. Fair enough. No. First kiss? Really, Hades?
The evening of her first visit with me.
Yeah. Oh. I think that's it. We're out of questions. And we've been going for an hour and a half. Not bad, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is your Karma asks what is your least favorite moment in the RP? I don't know. Why is my mind going blank?
When you had me rejoin with Gerald.
You know you did that way faster than I expected. You could have, like, actually argued and gone, actually, it might be better if we stay apart, because then you have 2 people rather than 1.
Still.
Yeah, we could have discussed that more. I don't know. I don't really know what mine would be. Mine would be one that doesn't happen in the RP. One we've acted out. So I'm afraid I can't say that one, because I don't know if it's going to happen or if it's not going to happen, so we'll have to see. OM asks... what do you think of Pen Strokes Pony Nicks from the fic Past Sins, etc.? Do you know this?
I know it, and I even have the printed book.
Oh. On purpose? I've never read it, but I'm sure, why not? It seems like an interesting story, at least.
Nyx is a very interesting character, and I really like her cutie mark story. I especially like the scene where this cult member, Nightmare Moon cult member, comes down to Twilight's cell and complains to Twilight and also asks her what kind of spell she has put on Nightmare Moon, because Nightmare Moon has been acting out. Nightmare Moon has gone ahead and sent a whole package of fudge to a filly who's celebrating her birthday and sending birthday wishes and all that shit. That she's way too nice. And then Twilight is in her cell and she's like, "That's my girl."
Okay, that is cute. That is very cute.
I have the printed book.
I might read it when I'm over.
No one is reading that book.
Why?
It's a collector's item.
So? Are you seriously not going to let me read it?
I can give you the digital version. I'm sorry, but if you read it, you will bend the pages.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay, fine.
I even have, since I got it, I only got it out once, and I only read 2 or 3 pages out of it for a segment on my channel.
Okay.
The rest has been completely untouched, and it is still in the box it was delivered in.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I am protective of my collector's items.
And I find that adorable. And I love it. Because there's probably a few things in here that I would say are collectible, but probably aren't.
Now that we've talked about Star Trek, I kind of want to play Star Trek.
Well, that's you for the night. I think that's us. This is fun.
Certainly.
I hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget, we've got a Patreon and a Teespring. We've got Patreons and a Teespring. Any help is truly appreciated. And thank you again for 5,000 subscribers. Not what we expected at all. Anything you want to say? Then we shall see you all next time. Keep watching that moon.
Keep watching that moon.